That's right. You heard it here first. No telly crash out Cuddy. The podfather himself, Joe Budden, told Roqui Thunder herself that she don't want to pod off with Mell. And this is very interesting, because Joe Budden has been very critical about Melissa Ford's actions on the podcast. How she isn't paying attention to what she's doing, how she's not enough for the episodes, how she needs to be more vocal, more interactive. Especially the last jump off between both of these individuals when Mr. Laubrey Graham himself made a song dissing Joe Budden called Give Me a Hug, where he says the legend from the Six has to sit next to a B, and that B would be Joe Budden. So for Joe to be in a group, in a spaces with a bunch of other people, Roqui Thunder and Joe have a long relationship and history from when they were working together at Sirius XM, from when they were at the Complex station. They've been friends for a long time. So for Joe to drop this bomb, it lets you know who he stands for and who he rocks for. Let's continue.
Roqui don't want to pod off with Mell, man. Oh, I'm off mute.
Mell?
Oh, wait a minute.
You sick. Don't do that to my girl.
I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna let you disrespect Roqui like that.
You don't believe that.
Lord, my goodness.
You don't believe
I don't
that.
even...
Say 30 times a minute. I for sure don't want to do or hear or no.
If you're committed to misunderstanding me, you're not part of my
The dichotomy of where
Mel can't even
because
remember
it
the
cracks.
Why do you think that? Why do you think Roqui can't pod with Mel? Like
He
you see
don't.
how
No.
she give
Don't
it
put
up?
words in. Don't put words in his mouth. He did not say that. Hold on. Pause. He didn't say that. He couldn't say that. He wouldn't dare say that.
And that's the problem there, especially with spaces. So you have Roqui, who's on her high horse, who goes into depth about what she's done and where she's been. But let's keep it a beam. She's sitting courtside at basketball games because the dudes are paying for it. Now she is on a list, a very long list, of people who contributed to Kanye West's Netflix special, his documentary, his 2-part documentary. And she's here bragging about how she's got an Emmy and all of these things. Well, let's be honest. You were in a group with a lot of other individuals who contributed to this special. You weren't the only one. That's number one. Number two, you don't even have a name in the podcast realm. You've picked up so many podcasts and got thrown off so many podcasts. We think you just waste management at this point. So she then goes into a whole rant on how she knows Joe is head over heels for her and all of this braggadocio stuff from somebody who, quite frankly, without her telling us her merits, we don't even know what her carrots are. Let's continue.
He said you don't want to pod off with Mel.
That's right,
like,
but he didn't say I
But
wouldn't.
why would he say that you don't want to pod off
Roqui
with
can't
Mel?
walk in no park if Mell is in there.
What park are we talking about? What park exactly? Hunts Point? What are we talking about?
Like, no, our hypothetical podcast park.
The podcast park.
The podcast. It's not a real park. It's not Central Park.
It's a figurative park.
Yeah, Mell done started mad pods, ended pod, got another pod.
Yeah, see, I don't want to have a track record of failure.
You ain't
like
been
that.
off the pod porch.
I'm sorry that her track record of failure to you seems more appealing.
Look,
that's good. That's a good point.
Yeah, that was a good perspective split.
Yeah, that's like,
however, once I do turn this mic on, I'm on all y'all ass. Don't worry about it.
Melissa Ford can't even go on Spaces unless she's around her hive. Like she can't even.
She don't even remember the comedian.
Ford has a successful podcast by herself, and he's just talking on the porch, watching, scared to get in the game.
How you know successful?
No, they ain't.
This is on Danny back. Oh,
no.
This is my riding coattail around here talking about what Mell doing. Mell on her own, and that Lifetime movie is on Lifetime. You got Lifetime? You got cable? Yeah.
Why you talking about Mandy like
Watch
that?
out. mouth here talking about a legend from the six. Y'all straight?
I
Knock
mean,
it
but you talking about a
off.
New York Times bestseller, good sir.
Knock it off.
Come on, we got a real pen up here with
A
us
New
though.
York Times bestseller,
Oh, that's
Emmy
5,000
Talk
nominated.
about
views.
that.
Stop it. That's 5,000
Go look at the
views.
Genius
Anyway,
documentary. What's
Oh,
that
And
name that's on
she
there?
it
got
ain't a lot of
everybody
books
trying
to
to
be a
write a and
bestseller.
she got
That's
Stop it.
everybody
400.
want her
not
to
a
write a book.
problem.
Nah,
How many
You
books?
400,000
know,
streams
my
on
pen is
Audible.
heavy, so
don't disrespect the pen.
And how many
he
books?
knows my pen is
That's
heavy.
a
You better
fact.
knock
Rocky
it
going
off.
crazy right now.
He knows the pen
Nigga
is
took
heavy.
30 years to get
It's cool.
a plaque. We're gonna
See,
talk to Rocky.
I can't admit to Joe's greatness on the mic. On the opposite end, he constantly has to tear me down. You know
Rocky,
my pen is vital.
you don't gotta do this. It took him 30 years to get his plaque. How fast you got your New York Times bestseller in your field?
I think it was I think they called it an instant classic. I think they
Wait,
called it an instant classic. Let
30?
me check the
It was
paper. Let me look at my
it was
first let me look
23
at my first 4 years
years,
into
nigga.
Shout
It
out to
was
Wallace.
producing and
23.
writing
How
one
many
of the
weeks?
greatest
Nigga, get
documentaries to
that
ever
right,
hit
nigga.
Netflix,
30.
Emmy nominated.
I
Yeah,
like
she's not even half of what you are. She ain't a fraction of the woman you are. Looks, fineness, smell, talk game, aura.
Shout
Rocky,
out
you
to
got a lot of work done to yourself.
Really, have I?
nah, we can't
Have
do
I?
that.
Yes.
I'm
We can't do
sorry.
that.
You
Meanwhile, you
look
sitting next to the
good.
Ozempic queen with the synthetic wigs. What are we talking
But I'm
about?
just saying, Jamie, we niggas
What
know
work have
you.
I got done, Joe?
Jamie is
Because
seeing like
face game is
2025
exact.
Rocky smelling good furs, and niggas know you. Shut up.
but he saw Melissa Ford too.
Zimpy
He
mommy.
basically said she was whack. She was whack. She said it. So
Wipe
she
down.
lame in comparison.
Wait, hold up. I want to be clear because I know you niggas is recording. I'm not down with pitting women against each other with
We
how they
just
look.
did.
Oh shit.
No.
Not with how they look though. I
Oh,
want to keep it
Oh
on
shit,
pods.
Mark. Stop
All
it.
right, all right.
Oh,
And
okay.
Salute.
truth
Okay,
be
okay.
I don't.
told,
I think
truth
that's
be
Salute.
messy
told, I
bitch shit
have
for
no
dudes to
issue.
do. So I'm not doing that.
corny
Salute.
ass.
And
Salute.
I want
Salute.
to be
With your
clear.
steak
I want to be
friends.
clear. I want to be very clear. I have no beef with that woman. She and I don't gel, and she chose to bring my name up
You
on the
can't have a
podcast.
beef. She got is a Gracie Award winner, and you not.
Gracie don't give out the
Off of
book.
10 episodes. Yeah,
Hey, hey,
how much that took?
hey, all right, hey.
How much that
I don't
took?
know.
But
I
A
Rocky
can't.
on a
Gracie
Nah,
no one has ever heard of
Joe,
until she
Collier
brought it
Jordan
up.
debunked that.
New York
Collier
Times
Jordan kind of
bestseller.
debunked that.
New
New
York
York
Times
Yeah,
Times
like
bestseller.
bestseller, Emmy nominated. Go
come
look
on
at the
now.
Times credit.
Talk
Emmy
about it.
nominated writer producer for the Kanye West documentary on
Mm,
Netflix, sir. You'll
name
see
right
my name
there.
is on the credits, sir.
Big
Hey,
name.
LL Cool
I
J,
Uh-huh.
can't quit in that
Navarro,
lane, sir.
Melissa
Rocky.
Ford drive a Honda Accord, and she do whatever it takes to get to the Gracie Awards.
Oh,
Never wore a synthetic wig a day in my life, sir.
Danny definitely has a verse somewhere when he was trying to be a rapper. It
Oh, for
happened.
sure. I was a
Saying I
Budden.
have no beef with that woman. I'm just
You and
outcasting all
Mandy
the
can't
spaces.
have no beef.
No, we can't have no beef. We're not aiming at the same basket.
You can't
We're
throw a
not
rock
aiming at
at
the
the
same
moon.
basket.
Rocky don't want no
She wants
Gracie
to be
Award.
pod candy. We're not aiming at the same basket, sir.
Man, how bother season
I
2?
have
Y'all know the
true age
You ain't even
behind me.
listen.
People have been very critical with Joe and how he doesn't take up for Mel or how he dog piles Mel on the podcast, which quite frankly, sometimes that's true. But in this instance, when Joe's outside of the podcast, he does a very good job of protecting his co-host. And in this instance, as you see with the content, he definitely is standing 10 toes down. Left foot east, right foot west. 10 toes down for Melissa Ford. I'll let the rest of this play. Y'all know how I like to do. I don't like to hold you, keep you back. Let's get this content.
Stop, brother. Stop that. That first
nigga just say
episode.
it.
It's way
Rock the pod coming
and
soon.
interesting.
Oh,
We are
facts.
the furthest from aiming at the same basket.
I'm not shocked
Our
for
hygiene
everybody.
regimens are two totally different.
Mm.
Done hair, done
She
feet
said,
Lord
done.
of Mike
"Woo!"
I
Goodness.
She
stay
said she don't
done. Don't
smell
do
like
me.
me.
Don't do me.
Mm.
That's all love,
He
man.
just said he
Dang.
wanted to keep it
Now
at the
That's
she
all
don't
pod.
love, y'all.
smell
Chill
like
out.
me.
That was a layered joke right there.
She said New Jersey
I mean,
spraying.
it was the inception of the foundation of us not really gelling together. I saw the feet and I was like, the toes ain't even good enough to be around a big dog like
Nah, Rocky
myself.
Oh
did pull up
shit.
in that ghost. Rocky did pull up
It
in that
started
ghost.
there. It started there.
Rocky did pull up in the ghost.
There's been a separation.
But it's
If
all
it's
good. It's
all
all
love, why you come
love.
with your 9?
Where did she park?
With a Rocky Park, she had parking.
I had to buy what?
Oh,
This man
that dude,
here.
Dub is good, man.
Probably
I'm
just
telling
parked up real quick.
Nah, you hating.
Thought it was a rebel.
And she had. I ain't gonna lie.
you. Imagine if Melissa Ford met Dub. What? I'm in. Oh man, I'm looking like a
Wait,
fool.
so
However,
you get to still live off your 8 years is serious,
I'm not
but
living.
Mel
I
can't
left that
live off of
behind. What
changing
are
the
we talking? I
game, the
left that
video
behind.
game.
I stepped away, sir, and I picked up
You
several.
get to still live
No, no, no.
off old Joe Budden friendship, but Mel can't talk
Now
about
I'm
her
living off
video
your
vixen
friendship,
glory.
Joe. What has your friendship brought for me in my life?
Nah,
Nothing but
that's a double
spaces.
standard. That's not right.
Nothing but
Faces.
spaces. In
I'm just saying I
fact,
don't think that's
in
right,
my
Rocky.
real life and in the real world, Joe, nobody really gives about you. Your Joe verse is
That's not true.
popping. No,
That's not true.
honestly. In
That's
fact,
not
they would
true.
love for me to never
That's
engage
not
with you
true.
again because it's just like,
If that was true, then you
it's
wouldn't.
dirt. Say again?
But that's not true.
Oh no, no. Spaces
My
is my
favorite.
guilty pleasure. I've mentioned that before. It is my guilty pleasure. I like
Rocky, you
spaces.
tweeted me from the garden.
I tweeted you from the garden.
When you was at the Nick game, I
Yeah,
think
like
he
why
said.
you keep talking about
I
spaces? Like you
tweeted you from
love
the no
Joe
no 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 no
Budden.
no no no. Explain that. Back that up. I tweeted you from the
I'm
garden,
done with it.
or
I'm
did
not
I
gonna.
I tell my people I just finished seeing you pass me by?
And you didn't say hi.
I thought that
It's
was me
hilarious.
too.
I should have took the goddamn picture, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it like that.
But I'm just
I ain't
saying,
gonna do
do
it
me
like that
like what?
because
Yo,
if they
y'all,
really want to
I
talk
see
about
the
who
God
really that
right
big,
there.
if they
And he's
want to talk about
sleepwalking.
who really
He almost close enough to touch and feel, but I
Joe,
can't.
stop projecting your weird
Because
fantasies,
he's
Steve.
sleepwalking.
Give me a hug.
Yo,
I
you
just saw
still
that nigga
Wasn't her feet
projecting
on the
your
Rocky
wood
weird
though?
wanted
ass
Joe Hug so
fantasies.
bad. It's over,
You
girl.
was with
No.
your lady and you still fantasizing?
Wait, huh?
You everything near me, by me, about me, down. You knew that. Stop.
Was it a good game?
It's actually great. I think they played Pump It Up.
Did they win?
In fact, I've been to the last 11 of the 13 games. I thought you had season tickets. Where you be at?
No, I have the tickets that are in Joe Budden's name.
Oh, okay. In the group,
He
in the
goes there
Yeah,
collective, you got
occasionally.
to wait for the
that's
lottery.
it. And whatever is in
Every
Joe
6
Budden's
weeks is your
name,
turn.
Joe Budden is happy with.
Every 6 weeks is your turn.
I don't
Congratulations.
like when a nigga sit courtside and then put the stragglers in the straggler seats,
Floor seats is straggler seats.
and then they just get to
Floor seats
talking.
is straggler seats.
I,
I mean,
I
Courtside is
that's
had
where
that for
he
the
straggler
road.
seats.
was. But the crew was in the y'all was back there
Back
somewhere.
where? Back
I
where?
mean, but it's cool. He'll meet up with y'all after the game.
What are you talking about? All my seats is courtside.
He gonna get
Yo,
back.
where's
Why you
Ski
keep
at?
saying
Where's Ski
my?
at? Because Ski no. Are
Why
y'all
does she
kidding
keep
me?
saying my?
What are you talking about?
All right, forget it. Never mind.
What is he talking about, y'all? My what?
He's
I
trying to
think
imply
He's
that they're not your tickets.
yeah, he's insinuating
yeah.
that you didn't get the tickets on your own
I
muscle.
don't have